Hi, teacher.
Hey, Daniela, how are you? Good evening. How's it going?
It's going okay.
Good.
Sorry, I was with problems with my internet. It's horrible here. So I am fixing my Wi-Fi. So yeah.
That's what I hear.
Mm,
So how's it going back home?
yes, everything is fine, but I got flu, so I am sick now. And
Why?
yes, I thought that it was maybe COVID, but I don't think so. It's only flu. And I am resting all these days and sleeping a lot. So yes, maybe I am eating a little bit, but not too much because I am sick. But yeah, that's
Oh
fine.
man. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, it was a long trip.
Yeah, it was horrible, horrible, horrible.
Oh
Eh,
man, I can
Maybe
imagine.
yeah, two
So,
days. And my last flight that was in Colombia, that were in Colombia, oh no, eh, it's supposed that it will be in at night, 9 p.m. and it starts at 10 p.m. It was no, it was
at
like
10?
two,
Oh
12
man.
hours. Yeah, no, too much. But well, I am here. I am free. I am okay. So yeah,
That's good news. How's the family?
yeah, they are okay.
Yes.
Yes, they are very funny. So yes, we are okay, enjoying the time.
That's good.
Yes, yeah, it's cute. It's nice to hear
Awesome.
everything that it passed. Yeah. Mhm.
That's great news. And how's your cat?
He's okay. He recognized me yesterday.
Yesterday, it took a
Yeah,
trip.
I I think that he was mad with me. It's like he recognized me the day that I arrived, but he was mad with me. Like, you you left me. So now he is okay. He's here with me. He's watching me like, what are you doing? It's supposed to be in my bed now, so maybe that. But yeah.
Oh man. Yes. Well, that's good that you're back.
Yeah.
That everything is okay. You have an opportunity to be with your family,
Mhm.
and well, you have some projects coming along, right?
Mhm.
You have
Yes, I love.
you have some projects that you need to complete.
Mhm.
So I guess just for right now, just take it easy, right?
Yes, this week, yes, only resting, but maybe tomorrow I will be doing my things, fixing my life again. So yeah.
I know how it is. You don't have to tell me. I know what it is.
Mhm.
And what else is new? Tell me.
Here, no,
Yeah.
nothing.
No.
Everything is the same. The food, the people. My friends doesn't know that I am here because I don't want to tell them now. Maybe after, maybe in the end of the month. Because now I want to do another things. I want to travel to another cities too. So I don't want to show me too much. Uh, I want to stay with my family too because I know my friends. They maybe want to hang out a lot. So I want to stay here in my home and fix my account, my number because I don't have a cell number. I don't have anything here, so I have to do a lot of things. Yeah. So, but everything is the same.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
you were away for quite some time, right? You were
yeah, it's
away
not too much.
and like a year, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Uh-huh. A
So
year.
you need to make yourself available, and you need to get everything back on track, right? And
Yeah,
I know
exactly.
how it is. When I came back from the States, I also didn't have nothing. So I had to
Mhm.
get everything in order. And now that I was living in Cancun, I didn't have a driver's license. And I need to renew my driver's license in my new address and fix my license plates for my cars. And everything is about money, you know?
Yes,
Everything
everything.
is it's about money. So my house, um, we're still working on it, trying to get everything back on track. We got it painted from the front. I need to
Mhm.
go to the roof and paint it uh, because of it rains. It rains a lot, so I need to take care of the roofing so that we don't get any leaks.
Oh,
And
okay.
put illumination because I'm getting blind. So
Mhm.
yes, and condition everything because of the dogs, right? We need to have open
Yeah.
spaces.
Uh-huh.
I mean, small open spaces, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, other than that, I know how it is. It takes time.
Mhm.
Takes a little bit of time, and
Yeah, I
I don't know.
mm,
You
big.
drive over there in Bolivia.
Well, my driver license is okay. It's until 2025,
I
so
still got time.
okay with that. But I don't know. The roads here are very different from the United States, so it's
That's
like,
what I hear. That's what
and
I
we
hear.
don't have too much rules. Well, we have rules, but people doesn't follow the rules here. So it's different. It's different right here than there. So yeah.
Yeah, in the states is. I mean, in the states is different. You
Yeah.
need to abide to them. In Mexico, we do too, but it depends on the state also,
Mhm,
and
mhm.
they take time to repair them. And I mean, it's not like the U.S. The U.S. is a different world. In Canada,
Yeah.
so
Yes, it is.
they really care about streets and highways and stuff, and everything is free. Over here in Mexico, they charge you for everything. Yeah, they do. They do.
Uh,
Uh,
uh, no. Well, yes, too much difference now. But
yeah, that's what it
well,
is. But how can I say it? Actually, I just got back from my in-laws. This past week, I had to be in an expo, and I mentioned that my boss got sick, right?
yeah.
And well, he's not very nice,
Mm,
and so I had to take care of some of his errands and stuff, and well, mostly he's just like how can I say it, to be present, right? But you have,
uh-huh.
but someone has to, and that's what I did. And for the expo, I had to go and and show our products for buses, and
Mhm,
and I have a lot of work. As a matter of fact, I need to, after class, I need to get back on work on some things.
mhm,
And okay, also I have the PM information. We're getting very close to a deadline. I need to go back probably in 4 weeks, and
oh,
and I need to stay there for like 2 weeks because it's gonna be rough. But I
yeah.
took this opportunity, even though I was away. I was in that plant for 2 days. It gave me
Mhm,
the opportunity to know what's going on, what's gonna happen.
yeah.
So maybe if I go over there, I might want to take a car so that I can drive because
Oh, that's nice.
it's not cool to be there without a car. It sucks.
Yeah. And it's expensive, I think so, right? They
Yes. Mhm.
have the, I don't know, taxis or Uber.
Yeah, they have both, and they're not cheap. And it's a big city. Puebla
Oh,
is a city that is very close to Mexico City. It's
okay.
also big. It's also a big city. Uh, and
Okay.
it's not in the middle of Mexico. It's kind
Uh-huh.
of, but going towards the Gulf of Mexico.
Mm,
But it's a big city. It's cold, not too
mhm,
cold, but it's in the mountains still. And
mm,
remember the time that you stayed in the
Iowa?
US. Yeah, did you hear about Cinco de Mayo?
Yes.
Okay, that's where the battle was taken in Puebla.
Oh, okay.
Do you know anything about it?
I only know that people celebrate that day
And in
drinking.
Mexico, we don't.
Yes,
In
yes.
Mexico, we don't. Well, the thing is, Americans celebrate because the French wanted to conquer Mexico,
Okay.
and they wanted to have their last stand here because they lost a lot of territory from the U.S. So they
Oh,
wanted to invade Mexico so that they can have territories here, so they can recover the U.S.
yeah.
So when Porfirio Diaz and his infantry they defeated the French,
Uh-huh.
that's it. They didn't have anything, guys, so they just decided to leave it, to let it go, and that's
Okay.
that's why they celebrate that. And the general, this general that I'm mentioning, Porfirio Diaz, he actually became a dictator for more than 30 years in Mexico. But he
Okay.
was the one, but he was the one that brought a renaissance to Mexico.
Mm,
When he was in power, he was the one that revolutionized everything in Mexico. The
okay.
railroads, arts, uh, agriculture. He was one that was uh, promoting all of those things, right? And
Mm-hmm.
it's weird, and check it out, it's weird because he became a dictator and he got exiled from Mexico. And guess where he was buried?
Okay.
In
Okay.
Mexico.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
His body was buried in France.
Hmm. Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yes, he defeated the French, but he got accepted into the French government and he died over there. So I don't know what's up. I don't know
Hmm.
what politics.
Hmm.
But yes,
Okay.
that's the city where the company has another manufacturing plant.
Mhm.
So I had to be there and take care of some things. And I might have to go in like 4 weeks from now if everything goes smooth. If not, it's gonna get postponed until 2 months from now. So
Okay.
this next week it'll be decisive in I guess how my next calendar, my next month calendar is gonna behave. So I'm gonna be
Yeah.
I'm gonna be very busy trying to figure out how is everything gonna go. But
Mhm.
anyways, um, so we're gonna start a new module, but this module is different, okay?
Why? Mm-hmm.
Because we're not going to use Pearson.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What we're gonna do is we're going to go over some skills
Mm-hmm.
so that we can improve our writing. We're gonna write essays, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna show you the course syllabus, and you should get familiar with this. If you decide to go to study in the US, this
Mm-hmm.
is pretty much the kind of format that you're gonna be given in classes.
Mm-hmm.
The course syllabus is gonna tell you the agenda, the overview of what you're gonna, how you're gonna be studying.
Okay.
And for this one, is very simple. We're starting in October and maybe finishing in November.
Mhm.
Let's see. I'm looking forward to complete everything in October. But so we are in 813 now. Of course, this is the same Zoom link.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the beauty about having these module is that we can pretty much decide when to have class, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So we have a little bit more freedom, right?
Yes.
That's why I don't have a fixed calendar here. Now,
Mm.
how how are we going to grade this class? 30% class activities, 30% weekly essays, and 40% final essay. Okay.
Okay.
So it looks very much like a university course.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay. Mhm.
And it's not going to be easy. It's not.
Mm,
It's going to require a lot of reading and a lot
yeah.
of understanding. Okay.
Okay.
And all of these are the objectives. Okay. All of these are objectives.
Mhm.
And at the end of each unit, an essay has to be written. Okay. And the
Okay.
number of words is going to increase gradually. Okay.
Mhm.
So pretty much what we're going to discuss is how to write different types of essays, of course, and to prepare you pretty much for the TOEFL exam. I'm not sure if you haven't taken the TOEFL, right? You mentioned that.
Uh, Sorry?
Did you take the TOEFL at some time in the
No, no, no.
past? Never.
No, never. Mhm.
Okay, never. Okay. In when you take the TOEFL exam, you're going to be given a topic. You're gonna read the topic, and then they're gonna tell you you have 5 minutes to write your essay. Okay, or you got 10 minutes, or you got 15 minutes, depending on the subject, and you
Mhm.
have to write fast. But
Yeah.
when you write your essay, it has to be structured. E-
Okay.
And that's what we're going to learn. Now, this course is going to be a little bit more flexible because you don't have to write an essay in 10, 15 minutes. You will have enough time to do it. But
Mm,
the expectation is that you follow the rules.
yeah. Mhm.
Remember, just like when we work in prison, one of the things that I mentioned in the beginning, always go back to the instructions. If you don't understand something, go back to the instructions, go back to the instructions. Because a lot of the mistakes that we make whenever we're taking an exam, especially the TOEFL exam, are because we don't we did not understand the rules correctly.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
but that's very important. Now, as you can see, I can give you this information. I mean, this is for you, so you can read it in your time. And
Okay.
the first part of the unit, we're going to talk about punctuation rules. Okay, the use of the period, comma, semicolon, colon, quotation marks, hyphen, and so on. Now, this part is not easy and it's long. It's gonna take us about 2 days. So, are you ready?
Yes. Mhm.
Okay, so let's do it. Just a second. So, punctuation rules, periods. And remember, when we have periods, we can also have a dot or a point. When we talk about grammar, we use a period and we call it a period. Now, rule
Yeah.
number one, use a period at the end of a complete sentence that is a statement. And we know that, right?
Mhm.
That's the first rule. Now, if the last item in the sentence is an abbreviation that ends in a period, do not follow it with another period. Example, right here. This is Alice Smith, MD, medical doctorate. And you're using an abbreviation, so you're closing your abbreviation with a period. You don't have to add another one.
Okay.
That's why
Yeah.
that's incorrect.
Mhm.
And the same example, but just one period. Please stop. I mean, please shop, cook, etc. We will do the laundry. Etc. Of course, is a period. Whenever we use etc., pretty much that means that you finished your statement. And that's something that we forget. Sometimes we do this, etc., and then we try to continue with a comma.
Yeah.
But that's not the case. And that's what they're telling us here.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
So we need to be careful with that. Any questions so far?
No. No yet.
Okay. So question marks and exclamation points replace and eliminate periods at the end of a sentence. Okay. So any questions about rule 3?
Mm,
Example, if you have a question mark, of course you don't need a period. If you have an exclamation mark, you don't need a period. That's what they're telling us.
Okay, but if you have the exclamation or the question mark, if you have that after you follow the another sentence, you put another sentences, you have to put the capital letter, right?
Right, that's correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, yes.
You need to start with a capital letter.
Okay.
Okay, and that way it's easy. That's all. That's pretty much all from periods. Periods are the easiest punctuation marks to follow.
Okay.
The following is long, and there's a lot of rules. Commas. Okay, commas and periods are the most frequently used punctuation marks. Commas customarily indicate a brief pause. They're not as final as periods. Okay. Rule number 1, use commas to separate words and word groups in a simple series of 3 or more items. Example, my estate goes to my husband, son, daughter-in-law, and nephew. Okay. And let's check out this note. When the last comma in a series comes before and, like this one, and or after daughter-in-law, okay, in the above example, it is known as the Oxford comma. Most newspapers and magazines drop the Oxford comma in a simple series, apparently feeling it's unnecessary. However, omission of the Oxford comma can sometimes lead to misunderstanding. Yes, to be honest, in my own experience and throughout the many years that I have read papers and books, I always see this comma, always.
Okay.
So my suggestion is use it. It's not gonna do any harm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And some examples when people don't use a comma, example, we had coffee, cheese, and crackers and grapes. Now, if you don't use the Oxford comma, it's kind of confusing because this is a package.
Yeah.
This is a package. Okay, they come together. And all of this is the main package or group.
Yes.
That's why I believe it's important to use the Oxford comma.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, adding a comma after crackers makes it clear that cheese and crackers represent one dish. In cases like this, clarity demands the Oxford comma, and we have it here. No problem. Okay.
Yes.
Now, fiction and nonfiction books generally prefer the Oxford comma. Writers must decide Oxford or no Oxford and switch back and forth, except when omitting the Oxford comma could cause confusion, as in the cheese and crackers example. Okay. Now, rule number 2, that was just rule number 1. Use a comma to separate 2 adjectives when the order of the adjectives is interchangeable. Okay. So he's a strong, healthy man. All of these 2 are adjectives.
Yeah.
So we need to be able to separate them. Okay. And you can also say healthy, strong man. Okay. We stayed at an expensive summer resort. We could not say summer expensive resort, so no comma.
Oh, wait, I don't understand. Okay. So we don't say expensive resort. Okay. Yeah.
Yes. All right. Okay. So, any questions?
No. No.
No? Okay, another way to determine if a comma is needed is to mentally put and between the two adjectives. If the results still make sense, add the comma. In the examples above, strong and healthy men make sense, but an expensive and summer resort does not. So
Mhm.
this is a way to check.
Yeah.
Okay, so, oops, not the one that I wanted. Oh, what happened? Oh no, what did I do? How do I get rid of this?
I don't know.
Ah, there. Okay, so yes, for example, you have strong and healthy men make sense. So
Mhm.
maybe you don't need a comma, or I'm sorry, you can play with the commas, right?
Yeah.
You can still use them. You still need the commas. But in this case, an expensive and summer resort does not make sense. So for
Yes.
sure, you need a comma here. And let's just make sure we have it here. Ah,
Yeah.
yes,
Yes, because yes, both are not adjectives, right?
that's correct.
Only one word is an adjective. Mhm.
Well, this one is expensive,
Expensive. Yeah.
but some are not. It's not.
Yeah. Yeah. I understand.
Okay. Okay. So 3A. Many inexperienced writers run two independent clauses together by using a comma instead of a period. This results in a dreaded run-on sentence, or more technically, a comma splice. Okay, so incorrect. He walked all the way home. He shut the door. Okay, so there's many ways we can play this, and we did it in person. There are several simple remedies. We know this is incorrect. He walked all the way home, period. He shut the door. And that creates drama when you're reading a book, a novel.
Yeah.
Remember, punctuation is the rhythm on how we read the information.
Yeah. Hmm.
Is how you how can I say it? The orchestra in your reading is going to be dictated.
Yeah.
After he walked all the way home, he shut the door. Okay.
Mhm.
And we have here after. He
Mhm.
walked all the way home and he shut the door.
Mhm.
So we have different options.
Yeah.
Okay. But this
Yeah.
is correct.
Mhm.
And
Mm,
don't worry, I will give you this information, okay?
okay. Yeah. No, I don't have questions. I only noticed that is because we have two actions, right? So I can put the comma when the I don't know. Uh,
Check it out. Remember, we worked something out in Pearson. He shut the door after he walked all the way home.
yeah.
But since we have an after in the beginning, that's why we
We
use
need
a
the
comma.
comma. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. 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 I understand
Now,
now.
3B. In sentences where two independent clauses are joined by connectors, such as and, or, but, etc., put a comma at the end of the first clause. Okay.
Mhm.
So he walked all the way home and he shut the door. Okay. He walked all the way home and he shut the door. So if
Mhm.
you have these babies right here, we can do much more.
Yeah.
Did he walk all the way home or did he take a bus?
Okay.
Did he walk all the way home or did he take a bus? Okay, don't forget to use a comma. Some writers omit the comma if the clauses are both quite short. And this is valid, okay, because come on, there's no comma splice. It's not a long sentence. I paint and he writes.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
3C. If the subject does not appear in front of the second verb, okay, a comma is generally unnecessary. Okay. If the subject does not appear in front of the second verb, a comma is generally unnecessary. Morty, let me see, let me zoom in. Morty thought quickly, but still did not answer quickly. Okay. So, but sometimes a comma in this situation is necessary to avoid confusion. Okay. So confusing. I saw that she was busy and prepared to leave. Clear with a comma. I saw that she was busy and prepared to leave.
Okay.
Okay. Again, there's no need for confusion. We have and here.
Yeah.
And over here, we have but. Correct? And that's what this rule was telling us. Trust me, sometimes I omit them and they create confusion. But it's important to be aware that we are making people's life easier, because there are people that are very, very selective when they use punctuations.
Yeah.
Okay. (3D). A comma is placed before the word because only if needed for clarity. Okay. The twins attended Tulane because their parents went there. This sentence clearly conveys that the main reason the twins went to Tulane was because their parents attended Tulane. Okay. The twins didn't attend Tulane because their parents went there. Okay. Now, this sentence is ambiguous. We're not sure whether they didn't go to Tulane because they wanted to go somewhere other than where their parents went to college, or whether the twins did go to Tulane, but the reasons other than that, their parents went there. It's a little bit confusing.
Yeah.
The twins didn't attend Tulane because their parents went there. Maybe we use a comma, it'll be better. We make a pause. When we read too fast, and it happens in Spanish.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
with a comma, I'm sorry?
No, I understand that it's because you are explaining something, you know.
That's correct, yes. You need to make a pause.
Okay.
Yeah. So with a comma before because, the sentences more clearly conveys that the twins desire a college other than the one their parents attended. Okay. So let's see. 4A. When starting a sentence with a dependent clause, use a comma after it. Okay. Now, this is different. We were talking in the beginning about two independent clauses, but this time we're talking about a dependent clause. Example, if you're not sure about this, let me know. Follow the same policy with introductory phrases. Having finally arrived in town, we went shopping. And I think we know this because like this is the most common use of commas, right?
Mhm.
However, if the introductory phrase is clear and brief, 3 or more words, the comma is optional. Okay. When in town, we go shopping. To be honest, I would add the comma.
Yes. It's better, I think so, yeah.
Yes, I just, if that's the rule, that's the rule. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. But always add a comma if it would avoid confusion. Yes. Okay. Last
Mhm.
Sunday, evening classes were canceled. The comma prevents a misreading, of course.
Mhm.
Because
Mhm.
if you don't use a comma, last Sunday evening, it's different, right?
Yes. Uh-huh.
It gives you two different uh, meanings.
Yes. Mhm.
Now, this is what causes a lot of mistakes in sharing information in professionally.
Mm. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
So let's see. When an introductory phrase begins with a preposition, a comma may not be necessary, even if the phrase contains more than 3 or 4 words. Into the sparkling crystal ball he gazed. Okay, sparkling is the adjective, and crystal ball is just part of the noun.
Yeah.
Okay, if
Mhm.
such a phrase contains more than one preposition, well, this is your preposition into. A
Mhm.
comma may be used unless a verb immediately follows the phrase. Okay, so between your house on Main Street and my house on Grand Avenue, the mayor's mansion stands proudly. Okay. Between your house on Main Street and my house on Grand Avenue is the mayor's mansion. Okay. And
Mhm.
they're talking about this verb, the verb be.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. And here you have a title. So you have to be careful.
Yes. Hmm. Okay.
All right.
Mhm.
So, but when a comma is unnecessary, when the sentence starts with an independent clause followed by a dependent clause, ah, unnecessary. But often a comma is unnecessary when the sentence starts with a dependent clause followed by a dependent clause. Okay. Let me know now if you are not sure about this. Yes, but we are using if.
Mhm.
And if is helping me to connect that dependent
Yeah.
clause.
Mhm.
All right.
Mhm.
And also we learned this in Pearson. For example, if you are not sure about, oops, about this, let me know. Okay.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Okie doke.
Yes.
All right. So use commas to set off non-essential words, clauses, and phrases. See who, that, which. Okay. Incorrect. Jill, who is my sister, shut the door. Okay. So unnecessary. What does it mean, teacher? For example, who is my sister? Maybe that's additional information, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
You shut the door, and that's what matters at this point because it's giving us information, okay?
Uh-huh. Mhm.
But it's making a small pause, a description about something, okay?
Mhm.
The actor, knowing it was late, hurried home. The actor, knowing it was late, hurried home. Big difference, right?
After knowing it was late. Mhm.
Right? Ah, it's just wonderful. I wish I could have this punctuation rule when I was in high school. I pretty much learned it when I was reading a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. So in the preceding examples, note the comma after sister and late. Okay. Non-essential words, clauses, and phrases that occur mid-sentence must be enclosed by commas. The closing comma is called an appositive comma. Many writers forget to add this important comma. Following are two instances of the need for an appositive comma with one or more nouns. Okay. Example, my best friend Joe arrived. No, this one. My best friend, which is Joe, arrived. Another example, the three items, a book, a pen, and a paper were on the table. That's incorrect. Now, the three items, a book, a pen, and a paper, were on the table. Okay.
Yeah.
Tricky, tricky, tricky.
Yes.
Okay, let's continue. Okay, so if something or someone is sufficiently identified, the description that follows is considered non-essential and should be surrounded by commas. Okay, pretty much we're following 5A. Freddie, who has a limp, was in an auto accident. If we already know which Freddie is meant, the description is not necessary. Okay, because there's many Freddies, right? The boy who has a limp was in the auto accident. We do not know which boy is meant without further description. Therefore, no commas are used. Okay.
Yes.
I mean, again, we can play with this.
Yes, I understand.
This leads to a persistent problem looking at the following sentence. My brother Bill is here. Okay. My brother, comma, Bill, comma, is here. Okay. So now, see how adding two commas changes the sentence meaning. Okay. Brother, okay. Bill is here. Careful writers and readers understand that the first sentence means I have more than one brother. The two commas in the second sentence mean that Bill is my only brother. Okay. Why? In the first sentence, Bill is essential information. Okay. It identifies which of my two or more brothers is speaking of. I'm speaking of. This is why no commas enclose Bill. Okay. You know what I mean? If, for example, I have only one brother.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have to mention, I mean, enclosing in commas. But what if I have two brothers, 3, 4, 5, 6?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So, oops. In the second sentence, Bill is non-essential information. Whom else but Bill could I mean? Hence the commas. Commas misuse is nothing to take lightly. It can lead to a train wreck like this. No, they're very exaggerated. But let's see, Mark Twain's book, Tom Sawyer, is a delight. Because of the commas, the sentence states that Twain wrote only one book. In fact, he wrote many than 24 of them.
Yeah. So you are talking about only one
right.
of a group, right?
That's correct.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay. But if you're talking about specifics, It helps us to identify that.
Mhm.
And 6A. So use a comma after certain words that introduce a sentence, such as well, yes, why, hello, hey, etc. Examples, why? I can't believe this. You have an exclamation mark.
Mhm.
No, you can't have $1. And we use this a lot in short answers, remember?
Mhm. Mhm.
Use commas to set off expressions that interrupt the sentence flow. Nevertheless, after all, by the way, on the other hand, however, etc. I am, by the way, very nervous about this. Okay.
Mhm.
In general, use commas to set off the word to mid-sentence. However, it is usually not necessary to precede to with a comma at the end of a sentence. Yes. And this is something that is, I mean, this first example is not very common. But the second one, it is. My sister too loves artichokes. My
Mhm.
sister loves artichokes too.
Yeah.
And you know this. But maybe
Mhm.
this one is not something that is very common, right?
Yeah. But you can use that too. It's correct too.
Yes, as long as you enclose it with commas.
Okay. Mhm.
Forget that.
Mhm. Okay.
Because if you leave no
We.
commas,
Yeah.
my sister too is like her name is too,
Mhm.
you know? Okay.
Oh yeah. Uh-huh. Okay.
Oops. Sorry. Okay. Use commas to set off the name, nickname, term of endearment, or title of a person directly addressed. Will you, Aisha, do that assignment for me? Yes, old friend, I will. Good day, Captain. Oh, so we have a name, nickname, term of endearment, or title of a person.
Sorry. Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Let's continue. Use a comma to separate the day of the month from the year. And the most people forget, always put one after the year also. Okay, yes. It
Mhm.
was in the Sun's June 5th, 2019 edition. Okay. Now Suns, it has a capital letter, so that means it's probably a book, the edition of the book. Imagine we're
Yeah.
talking about a book, Pearson book. It was in the Pearson's June 5th, 2019 edition, because there's many editions, right?
Yeah.
Okay. No comma
Mhm.
is necessary for just the month and the year. Okay.
Mhm.
We have month, day, and year. No problem. But we need to separate edition. It was in a June 19th article. June 2019 article. It may be advisable with other incomplete dates. Okay, for example, our planning meetings will take place on Friday, November 13th and Thursday, December 10th. Our
Mhm.
planning meetings will take place on November 13th and December 10th. Okay, it makes difference because we are talking about a day in specific here.
Okay. Mhm.
And here we're just talking about the month.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah.
Okay,
So if you are talking about a date and specific, you have to put a comma.
that's correct.
But if not, you can put a connector like and.
If you need to add more information, of course.
Mhm. Mhm. Okay. Mhm.
All right. Use a comma to separate a city from its state, and remember to put one after the state also. I'm from Akron, Ohio area.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
Traditionally, if a person's name is followed by Sir Jr., a comma follows the last name. Martin Luther King Jr. And then we have a period, right?
Mhm.
Okay. This comma is no longer considered mandatory. However, if a comma does precede senior or junior, another comma must follow the entire name when it appears mid-sentence. For example, Al Mooney Sr. is here. That's correct. Al Mooney is here. Al Mooney Sr. is here. But here you're considering it unnecessary. So it's okay,
Mhm.
but incorrect. Al Mooney Sr. is here. Be careful there.
Okay. Uh-huh. Hmm. Mhm.
Remember with etc.,
Yes.
you start a new sentence.
Mhm.
Not the case with a person named.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I understand. Yes.
Similarly, use commas to enclose degrees or titles used with name. Al Mooney, MD, is here.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mm.
Use commas to introduce or interrupt direct quotations or dialogue or text. He said, I don't care. So you have your comma here. Why? I asked. Don't you care?
Mhm.
Remember, quotations means what other people are saying, right? Toni Morrison wrote, comma, if there's a book that you want to read, but it hasn't been written yet, then you must write it. Okay. This rule
Mhm.
is optional with one word quotation. Okay. He said, stop. He said, okay. So
Mhm.
we don't have to use a comma. But it says what?
Okay. If you only have a one word in the
Mhm.
quotation mark.
Because your
Mhm.
quotation is just one word.
Mhm.
Okay. But I believe in Pearson, we still use the comma,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Pearson was like, no, follow this trend.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes we have to make those kind of decisions so we don't get confused,
Yes.
right?
Mhm.
So if a quotation is preceded by introductory words such as that, whether, if, a comma is normally not needed. It was it James Baldwin who wrote that nothing can be changed until it is faced. Okay. So yes, again, I have a connector.
That. Mhm.
And now, teacher, how can I know if I have a connector? Remember, when you're writing a paper or an essay, you're writing the paper, so you manipulate the information.
Mhm.
Just give proper quotation to whatever you get from another work.
Yeah. Okay.
A comma is not necessary to introduce titles of articles, chapters, songs, etc. Okay. Example. A recent I recently read an interesting article titled A Poor Woman's Journey. Okay. A comma
Hmm.
is not necessary to introduce titles of articles, chapters, songs, etc. And this is the case.
Okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
And again, we're going to see this in quotation marks. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go over the last rule, okay? Because I don't want to overwhelm you. It's a lot of it's a lot of information. Trust me. We're gonna get into
Mm,
quotation marks. There's gonna be more. If the
okay.
quotation comes before he said, she wrote, they reported, Dana insisted, or a similar attribution, and the quoted material with a comma, even if it is only one word. Example, I don't care, he said. Stop, he said. So we are starting our statement with a quotation,
Yes.
and we mentioned the rest. And we know
Mhm.
this because we saw so many examples in Pearson, right?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Okay,
Mm.
all
Mhm.
right. And there's many more. We are close to being halfway.
Yes.
Okay,
That's
but
fine.
don't worry, I'll give you homework. Okay,
Okay. Mhm.
you can practice a little bit. I'll give you this information also so you can have it, and you
Okay.
can use the information to do the homework. Okay,
Yes.
and
Where I can see this information, teacher?
I will send it to you in WhatsApp.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
Yes, I will send it to you in WhatsApp. I'm just gonna put a marker that we
Yeah.
stayed here.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's all for tonight.
Thank you. Thank you so
And
much.
yes, I mean, it's just barely getting started, okay?
Yeah.
So could you help me with the daily survey, and I will see you tomorrow.
Tomorrow at 10 in your time, right?
Yes, that would be 11 for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, because I'm gonna be very busy in the morning, so I cannot uh, I cannot do it earlier. But if by any chance I'm available anytime after that.
Okay. Yeah, it's fine. I have time all the week. So
Okay, that's
fine
good
for
news.
me. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Daniela. Have a great night.
You too.
Talk to
Bye
you
bye.
tomorrow. Bye bye.